Hello, GA. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you enjoyed your day, felt the love in the air. I know I feel the love in this room, that's for sure. So yeah, I know you could have been in a lot of different places this evening, but we're really happy to have you here with us. We really are. We're going to have a great meeting. With that, Secretary Brown.
Okay, you guys. So, Representative DeBaz. Representative Gallo.
Present and voting.
Representative Huffman.
President voting.
Representative Sabe. Representative Fish. Representative Bradley.
President voting.
Representative Smith Conathia.
President voting.
Representative Zabi.
President voting.
Representative Tran.
President voting.
Representative Vaughn.
President Indovi.
Representative Shu. President voting. Representative Heck. Representative Height. Representative Sevier. Representative McHenry.
President voting.
Representative Ladelpha. Representative Butcher. Representative Witterston. Representative Komeyer. Representative Relson. Representative Lindell. Representative Liu. Representative Tingley. Representative Cornelius.
President voting.
Representative Ruska. Representative Feaster. Representative Payne. Representative Stump. Representative Shaw. Representative Alvarado. Representative Toomey. Representative Gladys. Representative Rangaswamy. Representative Ridgway. Representative Williams. Treasurer Williams.
President Valentine.
Treasurer Slough. Parliamentarian McKee. Present. Vice President Dooner.
President voting.
Vice President Cruz.
President voting.
Vice President Cummins.
Present voting.
Vice President Shaw.
President voting.
Vice President Hale. President and Speaker of the Assembly tonight.
Present.
Okay, you guys. So you guys probably see in front of you that you have half of a heart. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a little bit of mix-up tonight before we get started with Assembly tonight. And you guys need to find the other half of your heart in the next 2 minutes and sit next to them. Okay, you guys ready? Go.
All right, guys, let's work a little bit harder.
1 more minute.
1 more minute. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.75. 1.5. 1.5.
Okay, who can't find their lovebird? Okay, raise your hand if you can't.
Left alone. Oh,
Janice. Okay, Janice, I see your lovebird standing up and fiddling with name cards right now. Okay, has everyone found their lovebird? Because you guys are going to be sitting next to each other for the night. And when either one of you guys wants to make a motion, you guys are going to motion together. You don't have to vote the same way, but you guys are going to motion together. So we motion to introduce Bill B 21-16. So, okay, you guys, have a great night.
You can thank your exec members for that. They worked very hard to come up with all these activities for you this evening. But with that, we're going to rise for the pledge. Excellent. So let's go into old business. Are there any nominations for commuter representative? All right. Any nominations for engineering representative? Oh. Okay. Yes. We'll get that from you. Any other nominations?
What's his name? Ali. What's his last name? Whatever I just spelled. Seems like Mahmoud. Yeah, something like that.
We'll get it. We'll get it. Thank you. Any more nominations for commuter representative? Okay. Engineering representative. Okay. Are there any last nominations for arts and sciences representative? Because we're electing this position tonight, this candidate will have to be here. Okay, I'm going to entertain a motion to close nominations for the arts and science representative. Representative Gallo.
And Sarah.
What are you gonna say? Are you gonna say so move?
No, we have to say it at the same time.
What are we gonna say?
We move to close
Okay.
nominations.
We move to close nominations for the arts and science representative.
Well done. All right, nominations are closed. So with that, we're going to begin. We're going to begin elections for the arts and sciences representative. So, do we have Jinju Ha? Okay. So, all other arts and sciences representative nominees, could they please step outside? So that would be Miss Cunningham. Okay. And okay, and you may address the assembly. Yes, Anthony. And you have 2 minutes and 30 seconds that you may use as you wish.
Okay. Hi, my name is Ginger Ha. I'm a freshman with a major in cognitive science, and I'm running for the position of one of the representatives of the College of Arts and Sciences. And the reason why I want to join USG is because I want to be more involved at CASE, and I also want to help the voices of my peers be heard. And the only other organization that I'm involved in is the Residence Hall Association. And because of my involvement with that, a lot of my peers are always asking me to change certain aspects of their life here at CASE. But most of the time, I have to say, like, oh, your request has to be heard by a USG representative, and I can't help you with that. So I feel like if I become a part of USG, then my classmates can freely talk to me about whatever, and they can trust that their opinions will be heard somewhere. And I think I'm a good representative because I'm responsible, and I understand that when something has to be done, then I should keep to my promises. Do you have any questions? Yeah.
Vice President Cruz.
Do you have any specific ideas on things you'd like to improve within the College of Arts and Sciences?
Yeah, I feel like with the College of Arts and Sciences, there are a lot of majors that have no connection with each other. There are things like sports medicine and accounting that just really have no relation to each other. And I feel like they're just not as connected as, say, like the College of Engineering. And I feel like that's one improvement that I can help make.
Representative McHenry?
Within USG, we have different committees such as information technology, student life, public relations. Which of these committees do you think you would best fit in as?
I think I would best fit in finance because I do some of that with RHA, and I'm just interested in seeing how all the USG funds are allocated.
Vice President Shah?
We were wondering.
Okay. We were wondering that since you're in RHA, do you think it would clash with being in USG as well?
I don't think so because I was told by the person who nominated me with what the different times are with like the finance committee if I were to be on that committee, and especially with the General Assembly meetings, and they have no clash whatsoever because general bodies are on Mondays.
Any further questions for our candidate? Okay. You will have 2 minutes, 30 seconds that you may use as you like for your address and questions.
Hi, my name is Anna Cunningham, and I'm running to be a representative on the College of Arts and Sciences. And I would like to be on the finance committee is what I'm thinking I would do, because I'm an economics major and a finance minor. So while I'm still part of the College of Arts and Sciences, I have some experience with that. And I talked to Matt about the position, and he said that we're doing a process of converting like all the old financial information to computer systems, and I already have experience doing that, so I think I would really enjoy it. And I also want to have more of an active role at CASE, like more of a leadership type position. I'm in a few different organizations, and I was vice president of a club last semester, and I really enjoyed doing that, so I just think just furthering my roles at CASE would be good. And I know I have the time available to do it because I don't have any obligations on Tuesday evenings, and I have a job and I have 16 credit hours, but I'm able to manage all those and all my responsibilities. So I think if I add another one to it, I'll be able to manage my time properly so I can do everything I need to get done. And I just think in general USG seems like a great organization to be a part of. Even tonight, it's Valentine's Day, but you guys made a fun game out of your responsibilities, so it just seems like an organization I'd really like to be a part of. Any questions?
Representative Rangaswamy?
I don't really know too much about that area of it. I think I get the impression that you guys do a lot of student surveying and stuff, so I suppose I could work on that and see what the students feel needs fixed in those areas. And I'm also an international studies major, so I could focus on that area too because I know it's a smaller major, and maybe they would like some more like representation or more involvement. And so just any way I can, really.
Representative Shah?
Other than being more involved around campus, is there other reasons or other motivations that you have to join USG to be a contributing member?
Yeah, I really would like to do more with my majors and minors, which is economics and finance. And when I found out there was a finance committee, right away I was like, wow, I'd really like to do that. It seems like something where I could use the skills that I'm learning. And just in general, I like to work with other people and in groups, and I feel like this is the best way to do it because it's really a team effort, and you can make a difference contributing on your own, but working with everyone. I really think it's such an influential organization, because we obviously influence all of the clubs on campus, so that's why I would like to be a part of it.
Thank you very much. If you may please step outside.
While she's transitioning, Taryn, your date is up here at the front. So, Tommy, you can probably scooch back. Or neither name. Um, each candidate will need to get greater than a 50% of the votes cast to be elected. So please write one, both, or neither names on them.
Vice President Cruz?
Could we put their names up on the thing just for spelling purposes?
Sure.
And then when you're done voting, please raise your ballots up in the air so I can come around and collect them.
Ballot. Have we gotten everyone's ballots?
Are there any ballots remaining out in the assembly? Okay, thank you.
Anthony, can bring them back in, please? So while those are being counted, we will continue. Are there any more nominations for the Francis Payne Bolton School of Nursing? Okay, can I entertain a motion to close nominations? Representative McHenry.
The invisible Sharif and I move to close nominations.
So then we will begin elections for the Francis Payne Bolton School of Nursing. Is Ms. Watts here today? All right, could you please come to the podium? You're ready.
Okay. Hi, my name is Mariah Watts, and I'm a freshman nursing major, and I'm really excited to be running for nursing rep for class of 2015. Hopefully you had a second to read my letter of intent. I just wanted to highlight a couple things. That I've been actively involved in different leadership organizations throughout high school. You can ask me questions about that later. But I want to focus on like what a representative is. I feel like representatives should be honest and committed. I feel like they should be open-minded and they should be held accountable for their actions, but mostly I feel like they should be personable, and I feel like I'm a really friendly person, and I think that I could help the more shy people of my nursing class express their ideas to me so I could bring them to USG. I don't want to just represent the assertive people, I want to represent my whole class. So I feel like my strong commitment to the nursing profession and my strong commitment to helping people, along with a few ideas that I have for integrating the School of Nursing with the rest of the university, would be really good assets for being a representative. So, thank you. Do you have any questions?
Ms. Satin?
What are some of those ideas for integrating the school?
Well, I thought like since we're college, different things like STD awareness, maybe like a fixing up thing on campus. I also thought I don't think that the School of Nursing had a Relay for Life team, and I thought that was kind of something we should have worked on. Since recruitment just ended, I thought this might be like kind of out there, but I know a lot of sororities and fraternities have different philanthropy projects, and I feel like the School of Nursing's project is the Cleveland Schools, and I thought that we could do a strong outreach project for that, so something like Hoopapalooza or Anchor Splash or something like that. And then it would encourage like the School of Engineering to do it too for their own kind of like just kind of things like that.
Representative Shah?
With your unique perspective as a student of the nursing college, what do you think the largest problem that nursing students face here at Case, and how would you go about fixing that or combating that with USG?
Well, I kind of touched on it, was just that the School of Nursing can sometimes feel like it's its own university where we have all of our classes with each other. We don't worry about, our schedules are all fixed. We hardly ever interact with other people of different majors unless it's outside activities or through our dorm or things like that, making your own friends. So just different activities. So I think that the blood drive that I think you guys are involved with and the walk for cystic fibrosis are really good, but more activities like those, and I would love to help be a part of that.
All right, thank you very much. Could you please step outside for a couple minutes? there any dissent? I apologize. This ballot has taken us off guard. Clearly, we're so used to our eye clickers now. I know, what is paper, right? So we do have our system.
Also, to clarify for this vote, you can either write her name or yes to vote in favor, or no or opposed, or just leave it blank to vote against. She needs greater than a 50% vote to be elected.
Could somebody please identify where the agenda pile is for us? Or the rest of the agendas? Are they all gone? Ah, there are some up here.
Who has not received a ballot to begin voting? Please raise your hand and keep it up until I can get around to you.
Please raise your ballot if you are ready to submit.
You look good. That's it. Oh, I think this is on.
Are there any more ballots to cast to vote for nursing representative?
All right, while we're still shuffling, I just want to announce our new Arts and Sciences representatives. Miss Cunningham and Jinju have both been elected. Jinju Ha. Congratulations. We're going to take 2 minutes just to get everyone's clickers so we can vote with clickers for the rest of the assembly meeting.
Does everyone have their clicker?
Somebody took mine. Does anyone have 49? 45? Wait, I'm 49. Yeah, I'm 45. 49, 45. I mean, I'm not trying. Anyone got 35? Connor, did RHA use the clickers last week?
Okay, we're gonna do a quick check, you guys. Does anyone look at your clicker? Does anyone have 45 or 49? Okay, if not, we're gonna Tom and Laura. You guys can just come up here and grab a random number, and then we'll continue voting like normal. So.
All right then, we're gonna continue now. Are there any more nominations for the Speaker of the Assembly? Mr. Rudensick.
I nominate Vice President Cruz.
Do you accept or decline?
I accept.
Okay, any more nominations? All right, is there a motion to close nominations? Someone say? All right. So we have nominated Parliamentarian McKee, VP Cruz, and who wants to go first? All right. Ms. Cruz, Ms. VP Cruz, if you could step outside, please.
Actually, you're right. Can I turn it back down? Albert just pointed out that I have to leave early half the time.
You do have the ability to turn your nomination down, yes.
So you've declined your
This is weird. Hey, General Assembly. So my basic qualifications and such are in my letter of intent. That's sort of a basic overview of me and why I think I'd be good. I want to spend more of my speaking time just addressing some of the other important points that sort of arise out of if I'm elected for Speaker. The biggest one obviously being parliamentarian position would then be open. I have talked with two different people. I won't put them on the spot now. They can speak up during discussion if they'd like. But I talked with two different people about filling into this role, and they both are willing to. One of them is kind of eager to, which is fun. So there is a replacement ready to step forward to handle the parliamentarian duties and keep that moving along. Obviously, I would be around and able to transition them quite well, and I would still be fulfilling that duty over the next week until they're officially elected. Yeah, I guess that's sort of addressing that other point. I guess I'll open up to any questions if you guys have any that you'd like answered.
Treasurer Williams.
Yes, I know at the very end of the year, the parliamentarian is supposed to conduct a bylaws review. How do you think that would work if there's somebody who just steps into that role and hasn't really had time to build that, or to really be able to review them?
Fortunately, both people I've talked to about stepping forward are a part of my governing documents review team right now. So both of them I've talked to about this, talked to about that responsibility. They've been in on discussions that I've had thus far about revisions I'd like to make. It would be transitioning them into leading that role from me leading it, but I would still be a part of that process, and there's at least two people interested in the position who have already been a part of that process thus far.
Vice President Cummins.
In regards to your other duties as Speaker, do you have any thoughts on the caucuses? And it's been kind of turmoil this year. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I guess sort of one thing I want to make sure I get back to is just regularly meet with the caucuses again, get to as many of their meetings as possible, really help them sort of keep level. I know we've had a lot of rep turnover. That's, something I want to make sure doesn't in any way negatively affect the momentum of the Assembly. So, but that's sort of a role I'm eager to work for. One thing in parliamentarian I want more to do is work more with reps. I don't get always as much of a chance as I want in my current position, so I'm looking forward to having that.
Thank you. you.
Okay,
Wanna
and
step
then
up?
I'm going to step out for discussion, but if you have any parliamentarian points that you need addressed, you can call me back in, so.
A is yes, B is no, and all the other letters, which is C, D, and E, are abstain. Why was there silence?
Two more seconds, you guys. There we go.
All right.
Okay.
Can invite him back in, please. Andrew. Congratulations, now Speaker of the Assembly, although I'm finishing this meeting, by the way. And I also want to congratulate Ms. Watts. Welcome as our nursing representative. Okay, is there any more old business? Can I entertain, oh, Vice President Hale?
Point of order. Who motions to do this?
Oh, excuse us. Janice and I would like to remove the thing.
Is there a second? Okay. So, because it's been removed from the table, we're going to go into discussion on this resolution. Is there any discussion? Representative McHenry.
As most of you probably know, I forwarded an email to the Assembly from a Mr. Bealey concerning a dissenting opinion to this resolution. According to Mr. Bealey, if you watch the rest of the video that's in question regarding this thing with UC Berkeley and Davis, UC Davis specifically, that the students at UC Davis are acting in a very uncivil manner. So and he says for that reason that we should really not at least not support UC Davis in this manner, because they really did not act in a civil and orderly manner.
Vice President Dooner.
Yeah, so last week I came out kind of in favor of the letter, saying it was a call to action. It was sort of looking at the future. And then I watched the video, and I don't want to say that it changed my fundamental opinion on that much, but it did change my opinion on the framing of the letter, I guess, because as a lot of people have said, now I see it as kind of as a bit of the police were sort of set up in a way. You know, the students were breaking the rules in not just a dumb little way, or not just a silly little way, but they were calling the cops names and that kind of thing. So I don't know. I kind of wish that I guess the point I'm trying to make right now is, I wish we could promote the free speech part of this without signing the letter, because I think if I don't want to move to do anything right now, because I don't want to throw this discussion into crazy land, but but I sort of wish that we could just pass the resolution without signing the letter.
Representative Shaw.
So I talked to 5 of the members of my freshman class at various times during Leutner throughout the week. And I showed them the letter and had them read it, and we each had a half an hour discussion on said letter. It was, I think, 4 of them said that they would be against signing it once they were made aware of the events that preceded the highly publicized actions of the police. And one of them said they didn't really care. Aside from that, my opinion last week was that I do appreciate the call to action and the sense of awareness that this letter brings, but I also think that the way the letter is stated at the beginning is very important. And so, I guess, yeah. Thank you.
Representative Feaster.
I actually talked to a bunch of the people that live in my building as well, and their response was overwhelmingly positive in favor of the letter. I understand the concern that the students were not entirely innocent. I don't think that removes the security officer's responsibility in any way. I don't think it excuses violence on the part of, adult security personnel just because students were behaving in a certain manner that is not excusable, but also not warranting of the kind of treatment that they received. And I don't think this letter in any way, I think what this letter is saying is we should try to avoid violence on universities and that there should be room for free speech. I don't think it's necessarily saying that the students were entirely in the right. So I think that the spirit of this letter is overwhelmingly positive, and it's a cause that we should probably support as USG.
Representative Rangaswamy.
I'm still going to stick to
students are still adults for the most part. They're 18 and above, you know, so act like adults sometimes, you know. It's a personal opinion.
Representative Huffman?
So I personally agree with a lot of what the letter says, but I think there's enough dissent, not just here, but within the student body, that I don't think we would be representing our constituents necessarily by voting for this. So that's why I am in favor of not.
Representative
Yes.
Toomey?
Yeah.
Sorry. Representative Toomey?
Yeah. Over the last week, I have also spoken with some of the freshmen in my building, and while they didn't entirely agree with the wording of the letter, they said that they would still support the letter and the resolution because, like, even though the students were at fault for provoking the police, that the police should have had a better way to deal with the protests instead of pepper spray and like the violence. So the students in my building, at least, were in favor of signing and supporting this.
Vice President Hale?
But addressing a very great concern and trying to make it a nationwide concern. And that's why I really want us to get involved and get behind this, because like Representative Toomey was saying, the reason I think we're hung up on this issue of like who's at fault, was UC Berkeley, like is it okay for us to endorse this because the students were in the right or the students were in the wrong, is because we all care about this issue of freedom of speech, ability to peacefully assemble. And now we've recognized that there needs to be more structure around these learning communities and how you are able to express yourself.
Vice President Cummins?
I guess I'm just kind of confused. The students don't practice protesting every day. Policemen practice. They are professionals. They are paid to do a job a certain way, and I think that their response was egregious and in no way warranted. I didn't see any sort of call for backup, any sort of response except to get backed into a circle. I think that was kind of their bad. I like that people, you know, consider it a big deal for, you know, personal responsibility on terms of the students, but I think that emotions were very high, and I don't think they were at fault with what, you know, a lot of people said that they were at fault. I disagree with that.
Representative Gallo?
So throughout the week I talked to some of my fellow students, and some agree and some disagree, so there's not really a consensus from the people I've talked with. Personally, I agree with the overall idea behind the letter of freedom of speech and all that. I endorse it. But the problem, for me at least, is when you sign a letter, you're agreeing to everything it says. And I just wouldn't feel comfortable with the sort of language in it, signing it and endorsing it, because then we're binded to not just sections of it, we're signing the entire document, which is why I agree with Representative or Vice President Dooner with his idea of passing the resolution to show that we support the freedom of speech and peaceful protesting and all that, but I don't agree with the signing of the actual Northwestern letter itself.
So we are at time. Is there a motion to extend? Representative Toomey? Okay. Next on the list is Representative Shah.
So I was just wondering, Is there other ways that we can, if we're truly passionate about this, is there other ways that we could show our support of this initiative, or other than signing this letter? Because as one of our representatives has already said, there is significant dissent both in this body and the student body that we represent, to not be able to, if we did sign it, show that we had all of our students, a true student consensus, I suppose. So are there other ways that we could go about showing support for this initiative?
Ms. Satin?
We discussed this in our Undergraduate Student Nursing Association meeting, and the point was brought up that, are we just putting our name on this, or are we going to back it up with some sort of programming or action? So if we're just putting our name on it to say that Case Western endorses it, and maybe if we agree with the general idea and not the letter, then a better way would be to actually do something else rather than putting our name on this letter.
Representative Wedderston?
I'd just like to point out that Case had an Occupy protest, and no one really noticed, that I could tell. I mean, this university's student body is pretty apolitical, and I feel like taking a stand on this would kind of not represent them. And to address any legislation about free speech, I don't think Mark the crossing guard is going to pepper spray us. He was in charge of security for the Occupy Case Western, and it was really respectful, and I think we have pretty open free speech already at this university.
Representative Radliff?
Sorry. So I had quite a few discussions with people within my caucus and that I know, and the general opinion that I got was that although a lot of people, and I informed them of the discussion that we had and the different points of view and about the video, and the general opinion that I got was that although a lot of people didn't agree, like we don't, or a lot of us don't, with the first paragraph, they do agree with the spirit of the letter. And with that, I told them, that if we sign it, we can't alter it. We have to sign the whole thing. And the reaction that I got was that the spirit of the letter was more important than those facts, to put it bluntly, I guess. So that was, I don't know, that's what I got. But I also think that Alana had a good point about if we're going to sign this, we should also have some action to back it up, and maybe with that action, show that protests don't have to turn out that way or something like that.
Parliamentarian McKee?
One quick legislative point. If you would like to edit this letter or edit this resolution but have it not sign the letter, it doesn't have a substantial be it resolved clause. So you would need to be prepared to insert one. If you would strike clause A, it would only be whereas clauses. So if you are thinking about removing that, do be prepared to offer a replacement for it.
Representative Riggenswamy? Do you have a comment? Okay. Representative Feaster?
Yeah, I just wanted to respond to the idea that Case is a safe place to protest, largely because a lot of students are apolitical. I think the fact that we have the advantage here of not having to worry about this sort of retaliation is one of the strongest reasons that we should sign the letter. I think that since we have enjoyed the right, that I personally would not be afraid to protest on Case's campus, because I trust our security officers to act in a responsible manner, regardless of student reaction. So I think that since we enjoy the right, perhaps we take it a little bit for granted, and I think that as a nation we can't afford to do that at all of our universities. So I think signing this letter says that all universities should have the same rights that we at Case enjoy, and that's an important aspect that we have that I think we need to support in all universities.
Representative Smith?
While the spirit of that letter supports those rights, the specifics of that letter does not, and it chooses sides, which we cannot do. The first point under general points of information is the main reason we cannot vote to sign this, because it will never be a true representation of what we do. I think what we need to do is to vote this down, back up, and create an event specifically for us. Something that we can edit and something we can design that says exactly what we want it to say. Because right now all I'm hearing is, oh, people are voting yes, people are voting no. Like, we can't sign this now. Like, that would be unethical, and I would really be disappointed if we did. So we need to back up and maybe plan something that we can do on our own, so we can speak for ourselves and not a form letter that was given to us by a university that is not like Case Western Reserve University, unfortunately. Thank you.
Representative Toomey?
I agree with Theo that we can't sign this letter as it is right now. So I highly suggest that somebody comes up with another clause for be it resolved, because even though we are very split about the letter itself, I know all of the students I've talked to have supported the general spirit of this, that we should express that, like, free speech is important and it does need to be preserved, but the terms in the letter are what we're having issues with. So if we come up with a new be it resolved, then I think once that change is made, that we would be able to pass this resolution.
Representative Fitch?
Call to previous question.
Is there any dissent?
Okay, and with that, we move into a vote on closing discussion.
Right, we first need to vote on closing discussion. Okay, pull those clickers out.
So please vote A, yes, to close discussion, B, no, to keep discussion open, C, D, or E, to abstain. It needs 2/3 in favor to close discussion. 2/3 of those voting, so abstentions don't count as a part of that vote. It's 2/3 of just yes, no votes. I think we're looking for one more. Oh, there we go.
Okay, discussion is closed. So we are going to recall the previous question, so now we're going to go into a vote on the resolution.
Again, A is yes, in favor of passing the resolution, B is no, opposed, C, D, or E are all abstentions. It needs a 50% vote to pass.
All right, before I go into new business, I want to make a comment as president that I want to thank you all for your perseverance and your persistence on this issue for the past 2 or 3 weeks. As an executive board, it is our job to present issues to the assembly and help guide the assembly in these manners and ask you guys to represent your constituency and ask for opinions, and I think you did that exceptionally, and that's why we were able to handle this so appropriately in these past couple of weeks. So I admire you for that, and I thank you for this discussion. All right, back to speaker. We are into new business. Is there any new business? Vice President Hale. Second?
Second.
Is there a speaker in the pro?
Okay. All right. So the most expensive thing on this bill is a request from CWRU Capital. It's about $1,300. They had actually come in during mass funding appeals last semester, and they've been very determined on making this event happen. When they came in to meet with the Finance Committee, they were very adamant to get this event to occur. And they explained how it caters to all majors and not just Weatherhead. And they mentioned that Goldman Sachs is one of the top businesses, and Case has one of the top finance students, but there are no Case alum that have come from there and sent like a recruiter or something. So they're really trying to get this event to happen, and we decided that we would fund it. I'm open to points.
Is there any discussion on the bill? Vice President Cruz.
Hey, I've actually talked to Paul Mannix about this quite a bit for the crew capital thing, and I guess like I'm under the impression that a lot of times when groups come in and make requests and get denied, they just kind of bag it. And I guess I personally just really appreciate the fact that they're so determined to have such a successful event that they keep coming back. I think that it would be a successful event and it really would benefit a number of students. The point that he made and that Jaisal made about how we have one of the top finance schools, but we don't get any of the recruiters. That, I guess, just kind of hit me. It was like, wait a second, there's a disconnect here. This is a problem. So I think, while it's a lot of money, I think that it's going for a good cause, and I think that it's a good event for them to hold.
Vice President Dooner?
A quick question for Finance Committee, I guess. How many plane tickets does $1,100 buy? Just one? It's Paul? Okay. Okay.
Are there any other comments? Okay. Representative Ringenswamy?
Did crew capital make sure they got the best rate possible on flight?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you.
Like, this wasn't even a first class ticket. This is from New York and to here and then back, so.
All right, is there Vice President Hale? You know the drill. A for yes. Oh, Representative McHenry.
Point of order. Being this is a bill regarding finances, we are supposed to table these kinds of bills. And
No.
As a response to that point of order, we do not need to. The only bills that need tabled are the budget bill and any bill regarding changes to our constitution or bylaws. Previous assemblies have opted to table funding bills. We don't feel it's necessary at the moment to, so.
A very astute observation, and exec discussed how we table bills and for what purposes and if it's necessary or not to expedite these processes, especially because it's a rolling funding bill. And it's dependent on, students depend on getting this money sooner for their events. So, but
Fair
thank
enough.
you for that. All right, we're already voting, apparently. Bill 21-16 passes. And we do have some more new business, actually. So I'd like to entertain a motion to open a discussion on the GA change. Thank you. President Hale?
I'm wrong, but we would meet every other week like we are now as an assembly, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. And then the off weeks, Tuesday 7 p.m. would be committee meetings. Of course, there's an exception for finance, which they could arrange on their own. But this is just reducing the number of meetings a week you have from 3 to 2 in sort of an effort to just combat how big of a time commitment USG is.
Representative Feaster?
Yeah, so I'm in favor of this for a couple of reasons. First of all, regular committee meetings, I know at a time slot where all of us have already established that our schedule's clear, would make a lot of things easier. I know there are some committees where representatives unfortunately can never or seldom come to their meetings because they're forced to be at weird times. Additionally, USG is a huge time commitment, and I know that's what we sign on for when we take up the commitment, but I feel that it would be a lot less limiting for people to only have 2 meetings a week as opposed to 3, but I don't believe that it would have any impact on people's perception of commitment value, because USG is still a big commitment time-wise and otherwise. So I think this is a good idea.
And just before I call on the next speaker, we are going to be talking about this for only 5 minutes more. Representative Rizavi?
Yeah, I'm in favor of the GA change because I think it would make committees become more effective, hold people accountable to show up, and then the different committees could collaborate on ideas that cross over, which is a benefit as well.
I'd just like to bring up the point that if committee meetings are ever an issue, attendance-wise due to other commitments, one can always switch committees that they're in and still be participating. There are 5 committees. Also, USG is a time commitment. Yeah, we've already discussed that. And then for important discussions such as the letter, where continued discussion for every GA, or if there are important time-sensitive discussions that are needed to be resolved in a timely fashion, consecutive days of meeting, not days, but consecutive meetings per week would be necessary in the manner that we have it already existing.
Representative Kahlmeyer?
I think it would be better to have, instead of having committee meetings every other week in place of GA, to have our caucus meetings, because most of the caucuses meet after GA anyways, and that would also be replacing time that we meet with the caucuses, so it would take away a meeting a week, and everybody's only in one caucus, so that just makes more sense to me.
Representative Razavi? Sorry.
Just a comment on Representative Shaw's comment. In the case of having a bill or resolution needed to be talked about every week, we could possibly alter the schedule and change and have GA meet consecutive weeks in the case of a resolution like the Northwestern letter, and then go from there.
Representative Radliff?
Like Representative Razavi just said, I believe last time we talked about this, Divya, you did say that if we had an important bill or something to talk about, we could still meet because everyone would be here. And also, I know the last time we had this conversation, a lot of people had concerns about what Finance Committee would do. We talked about it in our committee meeting, and we actually all believe that it would make us much more effective to be able to meet on both Tuesdays and on Fridays to give us time to do things such as projects on Tuesdays and to meet with students on Fridays, and we would actually spend probably less time in meetings. So,
Treasurer Williams?
Yes, just to kind of really quickly talk about, discussed this at exec last Thursday, and we had this thinking there, some people felt one way, some people felt the other, but a couple of people did feel that this might be something better to do in the future for a future assembly, that maybe to try it when there is more time, because you look at, to try this out effectively, you really need 4 weeks. And the problem is we don't have 4 weeks in a row right now that we can effectively do this, because we have spring break coming up, it's almost here. And then after spring break, we're basically at the end. So we're starting to do transitions, and so I just don't think there's an effective time to do it now. I think it's something to do next year, but just not right now.
Vice President Dooner?
That's a good point, I guess. I'm completely out of the loop as far as the exec thing goes for this plan. I'll say that first off. But I think a lot of the little things, like, well, could we make this work or something? I think a lot of that, as computer science majors would say, implementation details. It sort of comes down to a vote yes is a vote trusting in the exec board that we can make little things work out. So I don't know if, I guess, depending on where your threshold for little things is, I think we can make a lot of things work with this plan.
Representative Ladelfa?
In regards to this change, the Student Sustainability Council, another group I'm in, made a very similar change earlier in the fall, and it has proved to be very effective. It gives a lot of people time in different committees to, like Representative Razavi mentioned, talk about ideas that overlap. And as for people that have been in USG, a lot of our resolutions or bills cross over, And just having that ability to discuss that at multiple times with multiple committees is something that is really important, and I think that it'll definitely help. So I'm in favor of the change.
We are at time. Is there a motion to extend? Vice President Hill?
May I actually make a different motion?
Okay.
So I think the preface, I'm getting but exec has some other priorities right now. But we are willing to take this on wholeheartedly and make sure it goes flawlessly for the remainder of the semester. But it wasn't really our intention, and we really kind of built up to make this happen instantly. But if you want to do it, we'll do it. So I'd like to know, but I think all of exec would like to know if we're going to do this. So I move that the assembly adopt this new schedule immediately. So that we can vote on that question.
So Vice President Hale is, I guess, presenting a vote. He would like to present, and then the motion is to, if there is a majority in favor, we would be instituting a every other week GA change immediately. Is that correct? So we would need a second for that. Okay. So that means going into the vote. There's discussion, and then we're going into a vote. So,
As a point of order, this discussion is specifically on whether or not we would do this immediately. It's sort of a close question with whether or not we want to do this at all. So try and keep the two separate so we don't get too far layered into motions of amendments. So this is just the timeline. Assuming we would do this, would we do it immediately?
okay, Representative Shah.
I think I do agree with Treasurer Collin. If what? Oh, Williams, Treasurer Williams. Sorry, that's not his last name. As far as the timeline, I think that this would be better fitted for a newer assembly, so we could test drive it that way, and I think that would be a perfect way to do it. In that case, I'd be in favor for it.
Representative Toomey.
I think that if we're going to do this, we should either do it right now, like VP Hale is suggesting, or we wait until the beginning of the fall semester with our new assembly, as Treasurer Williams is suggesting. But we can't suggest to put it off until next week or the week after. It's either now or next semester.
Representative Feaster.
If we're gonna do it, let's do it. I mean, I don't see what waiting any significant amount of time would do, other than just, delay. If we're gonna figure out what the problems are, we might as well figure out what they are right now, so we can fix them in time for a new semester. So I say, if we're gonna do this at all, let's start it immediately.
Representative Reagan-Swamy.
Kind of thing. I mean, the way I view it, if it's so horrible, we can always switch out of it. It's not like this is something where there's absolutely no way we're switching out of this period. I mean, if it turns out this is just not working for us, we will see us, overwhelmingly talking about it and switching out of it, like within 2 weeks or something. So I am willing to give it a test. I was against it before, but after hearing a lot of great points for it, I'm more than willing to give it a shot. Why not?
Representative Gallo.
VP Hale, I'm just wondering, is this for a permanent change or just for the rest of the semester or calendar year or what?
There's nothing preventing us from changing back later.
Representative Smith. Okay, so now we are voting. Is there dissent? Representative McHenry.
I personally
Point of
think
order.
that.
Point of order. Since there was a call to question in second, dissent only means that we now have to take a vote on closing discussion, not that discussion remains open. So at this time, we're going to move into a vote on closing discussion on the amendment that we would start immediately if we adopt this. So please vote now. A is yes to accept the immediate start if the main motion is adopted. B for no, and C, D, and E abstain.
This is for closing discussion only.
Yeah, this is the closed discussion on the motion on an immediate start. A is closed discussion. B is keep it open. C, D, or E abstain.
Okay, so discussion is closed, and we are now going into the vote.
Yes, so now we're voting on the motion for the immediate start. Please vote A, yes, B, no, opposed, or C, D, or abstain. Again, that is specifically on whether or not we would do this immediately if we choose to do it. One more. I'll give you just 32 seconds.
All right. We have a new structure for our meetings. So,
Well, we have, if we agree to the new structure, then we'll be starting it immediately. Now we're resuming back to the point of the meeting.
My motion was to start this immediately, as presented by President Hagewell.
did I say it correctly?
That was my intention.
Okay.
Was it misunderstood?
Okay. Apparently just by me.
I got this one. All right. Yes. So this is passed. We have exec will discuss how to proceed for the semester with this change. Okay, and one more order of new business for tonight that's not on there. We have to open nominations for parliamentarian. So are there any nominations for parliamentarian? Move to open nominations for parliamentarian. And excellent. Any nominations? Vice President Shah?
We would
nominate
nominate
Representative
Representative Smith,
Theo.
Theo.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Rodensick?
I nominate Connor Toomey.
Any other nominations? Okay, thank you. We will be electing a new parliamentarian next week. All right, committee reports. Oh, that's me. All right. I'm just gonna stay here, guys. Where's my report? Oh, okay. So, I'm just gonna highlight SLIG, the SLIG press release that's gonna be coming on after. What? Okay. Anyways, I'm glad you guys are enjoying this at my expense. The SLIG press release. We are really advertising our SLIG. We've done on Facebook. We're going to have an observer ad. It's going to be great. I hope you're telling your friends. But the press release that's going to be released after GA today outlines that, as well as another finance-related issue that we had this semester. I'm not going to delve into it now, but the whole undergraduate student body will be receiving this press release. And if you have any questions about it, you can contact exec, and we can elaborate, explain further. But I think it's very detailed. Our very own Vice President Dooner is the author of it on behalf of the USG finance team, and I think he did a very good job. So that's all I'm going to say there. And then I'm going to also highlight mid-semester one-on-ones. I do this with the exec board members every semester, but again, I'm going to open it up to representatives. If you'd like dinners with Div, or I don't know, there's some dates with Div, there's a lot of different names that have come up. If you want to have a meeting with me to talk about your experience in USG or anything, I would be more than happy to meet with you. I'd like to hear how things are going. So please contact me if you'd like to meet with me. Other than that, I'm open to points. All right, Vice President Hale.
It's been a while since I've been up here, so I figured I better make use of it. Most of it's on paper, as usual. However, I would just like to highlight some stuff from the smoking survey. Props to the Student Life Committee. You all are still working very hard on it. But definitely, I don't know, it's like the most thing I'm proud of, the thing I'm most proud of out of the committee so far. So good job to you all. But overall, 726 responses. 86% of respondents said they never smoke on campus. The question was actually smoke cigars or cigarettes on campus, so preclude some other stuff. But huge, like talking with IR and other offices that do surveying, this is like a huge response. So to think that USG got a huge response on a survey is kind of a big deal. The top 3 issues in the written responses, which is what the committee's churning through right now, are, of course, Adelbert. Favorite quote in there, someone quoted Adelbert Road as Cancer Road. And the designated smoking area by Wade, which I didn't even realize existed, but apparently it wafts into the residence halls. And then the number 1 issue that was mentioned most often was enforcement of the policy, dissatisfaction with the way the policy is enforced. So, updates on the smoking survey, open to points. Cool, thanks.
VP Shaw, you're up.
Okay. So this weekend, February 18th at 10 a.m., the Finance Committee will be holding a paper filing party. I'm just going to explain a little bit on that. So back in my day as single treasurer, we used the old system, which was paper filing. And so we're still working on trying to make the computerized filing documents available to the students because we want to be transparent. But because we're still working on that, it's not transparent to them yet. So any paper files that we have, we want to go ahead and file them. That way they do have access to them. And we think that this would be one of the best ways to stay transparent as we're continuing along the road of making documents available. So I will be bringing brunch or breakfast or lunch, whatever, to wake up those who are groggy-eyed and sleepy and would love to attend the filing party. So whoever wants to attend, you are totally welcome to attend. The treasurers will be there early. They'll be, creating the files. That way you can just, look at the paper and stick it into the file. I am open to points.
Any points for Vice President Shaw? Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Is there a treasurer's report? Oh boy.
Well, as you know, it's time for everybody's favorite time of the week. It's Who Wants to Win Candy from the Treasurers. And this week is actually Who Wants to Win King Cake, because I have king cake, and it's delicious. So, this week's, the first question is, on February 1st, 2012, I submitted a funding request for a $50 Rascal House gift card to give away at my Valentine's Day event. Why would this request be denied? A, because there's not enough time before the event. B, USG can't fund gift cards as prizes. C, we would not deny this request, so this would be perfectly fine. Or D, because it's Rascal House.
Folks, this is a clicker question.
This is a clicker question, but with your clickers. And if you and your partner get both questions right, you have to get both of them right, then you can win. So, answer away. No, that's only during open forum. Okay, let's see what people said. Okay. Let's see them. Awesome. Good job, guys. You guys know we cannot, in fact, fund gift cards as prizes. Kind of part of our bylaws. Yeah. Yep. Okay, it's part of our bylaws. Just wanted to check it. Because there's the student organization handbook and there's the bylaws, and so, yeah. Okay, next question. So which of these is necessary 100% of the time when submitting a disbursement or purchase request? A, an itemized receipt. B, a legalized notary's signature. C, a printed out form from Collegiate Link. Or D, President Snyder's signature. If you vote E, you have to give me candy. Just a reminder. This is not a trick question, actually. All right, awesome questions.
I think there's one more on it.
I actually got the. So now that everybody's voted, this actually was inspired because it's something I didn't know, and actually, most of you guys didn't know it either. The answer is not A, which I was surprised about because I ran into this. If you read the treasurer's tip of the week, you would actually know that if you're traveling distances for gas, you don't need a receipt. All you need is a Google Maps printout, which is not really an itemized receipt, so it's not A. You definitely don't need B or D, but you do need to print it out from Collegiate Link. That is the only thing that is needed to actually start the process. So, show of hands, who got both questions right? I'm glad this paired it. Okay, awesome. Come see me afterwards. I have king steak, so yay. Other than that, everything else is in there.
Any points for the speaker? All right, thank you. Vice President Cummins.
Hi there. I've been working on a lot of election stuff, and besides that, I'd like to also tell you that the Case Institutional Research website is really cool. And there's one more thing. Oh, the final destinations, or the first destination surveys got live yesterday, actually, which, oh, you're laughing at them, okay. It's a big survey of all of the recently graduated people from last year, so you can like check your major and see who's doing what at what grad school, what companies they've been they got jobs at, how many are unemployed. I don't know, I thought it was kind of cool. I thought I had no chance of a job, but only two chemical engineers didn't have a job from last year. So I was like, hey, cool. So that was kind of interesting. And there's also a breakdown of the surveyed recipients, like how much they're getting paid this year, and so what you can expect for next year. It's kind of cool. So seniors, check it out. Open to points.
Any points for the speaker? Vice President Dooner?
Where do you find that survey?
Follow them on Twitter, number one. Number two, I think it's on the Career Center website. Is the final destination survey.
Oh, sweet.
Any more points? Okay, Vice President Cruz.
So as far as important stuff goes, you can read my board report. As far as more fun things go, exciting prizes today. Oh yeah. Reese's Peanut Butter Heart, a large one, and a giant Hershey Kiss. Let's see, whoops, I just accidentally edited this. All right, first person today. Let's see. I'm already laughing. Title of this person's autobiography would be Climbing Mountains, but not literally, more in a figurative sense. Something on this person's bucket list is to write a book. Biggest pet peeve, closed-mindedness. Jaisal.
EP Cummins?
Nope. Song this person could listen to every day is The Middle by Jimmy Eat World. Colin. Nope. Samir. Yeah. That's impressive. Okay, the one I was laughing at. Weapon of choice in a world overrun by zombies would be his hands. He would utilize the patented Skylar Thompson arm chop. Please demonstrate for those who don't know. Theo is majoring in anthropology and medicine /life/awesomeness. He wants to be Temperance Brennan when he grows up. Oh yeah, bones. If he was a flavor of ice cream, he would be rum diddly umptiousness with blue raspberry flavoring. I love blue raspberry with 2 exclamation points. All right, and his celebrity crush is Zooey Deschanel. I respect that. All right, second person. Oh wait, did you want the Reese's or the Hershey's? Yeah, I figured that'd be the first one to go. I should have just gotten 2 of those, let's be honest. Next time. Anyway, second person. Biggest pet peeve is people who walk slowly and take up the entire sidewalk. Something on this person's bucket list is running with the bulls. Weapon of choice in a world overrun by zombies would be a shotgun. Double tap.
Is it Representative Huffman?
It is not. Jason.
Representative Gallo?
Nope. Let's see. This person's. Let's see. If this person could throw any kind of party, what would it be like and what would it be for? This person says, you never need a reason to throw a party. There would be obnoxiously loud music, though. What would this person do with $1 million? Pay for school, go shopping. Let's see. What is this person's favorite building on campus? That's a new question. I don't think anybody's answered it yet. Adelbert, PBL, or Wolstein? Yes.
Representative Liddell?
It's not. Any other guesses? All right, this person's, let's see. Person's celebrity crush is Darren Criss. Wow, that's not giving it away. Okay. Person is on exec. Smear. Yeah. You don't get two, so we're gonna do a third one. As soon as I find another one. Favorite movie when I was a kid, and probably still now, is Pocahontas. Let's see. Favorite flavor ice cream, I'd be Superman, duh. I'm an anthro major. Let's see. Cupcakes or muffins? I said muffins. I don't know. Do we want to do a third one, or do we want to save this for next week, maybe? Save it for next week? All right, cool. I'm down with that. No, you don't get two. It doesn't work that way.
All right, thank you, Vice President Cruz. Can I have Vice President Dooner?
I guess I'll stay back here. My update is IT committee is working on a couple things like software center improvements, but mostly, and some other things, but mostly a big focus. I met with a nice girl from Graduate Student Senate. Oh yeah, it's Valentine's Day, right? No, a nice graduate student senator, and we talked about print to here, and we're going to be having a big powwow for print to here, try to get ITS and a bunch of people, the people that run print to here, all together in a room. If anyone is interested, has passionate feelings about print to here, let me know and you can tag along. But other than that, I'm open to points.
Mr. Rudensik?
Tom, did you get her number?
Representative Shaw?
Is the speaker aware, just wanted to know, is the speaker aware of the really crappy situation with the print to Wade?
Has it gotten particularly worse in the last little bit? I mean, it's...
Yes. I think it's been down for the last 2 weeks or something like that.
All right.
Vice President Cruz?
I don't know if anyone else is familiar with the new CWRU memes page, but I think that the meme that said, "One does not simply print on North Side," kind of sums up the feelings of the entire campus.
That's the only one of those that I actually laughed at, by the way.
Any more points? Okay. And parliamentarian, McKee.
Hey guys, my office hours for the semester are printed. I wasn't able to be there today. I was busy running all over campus singing. So sorry if you came and I wasn't there. My point of the week is about when figuring out plans for USG for next year, remember that you can run for both an exec position and a representative position. So if you want to be involved as a rep for certain, don't be afraid to take the chance and also run for that exec position if it's something you want as well. Go for it. Also, as an additional note, remember that treasurers, speaker, and secretary are all appointed by the assembly after elections. So if you're interested in those, you can still run for a representative position or an executive position in the elections, and then afterward be appointed to one of those. That is all. That's my last point of the week, too, as parliamentarian, I guess. So open to points if you have any.
Representative Shaw?
I was just wondering if you could reiterate the date for our applications for representatives.
Friday, March 2nd is letters of intent due? Or Thursday, March 1st. Friday, March 2nd is whenever the candidates meeting is. My apologies. So, letters of intent for next year due March 1st. More will be coming from that and from the Elections Commission and such in that process in the near future.
Are there any caucus reports? Representative McHenry.
Yes, I just want to announce that there is going to be a engineering caucus meeting immediately after GA, same place we always have it. We just want to get a few things ironed out, kind of establish our game plan for the rest of the semester. It's just, hope to see you there.
Representative Gallo.
Yeah, College of Arts and Sciences met today. It was a fun meeting. And all I'm going to ask you guys for is if you have any arts and science friends, ask them if they have any ideas as to how we can improve their life. Thanks.
Any more reports? Okay, we are now in open forum. Secretary Brown, any reports from the feedback report?
Nothing to report this week.
Okay, are there any comments for open forum? Representative Gallo.
Just by show of hands, who's free tomorrow at 9:30 p.m.? Anybody? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, well, we have a basketball game tomorrow at 9:30. So I'm going to send out something I realized is I never sent out the IM Leagues link. So technically, I'm the only person on the team right now. So I'm going to send that out tonight. Please sign up for the team. Playoffs start next week. This is our last game before the playoffs. So let's get some team chemistry going. Keep this Valentine's spirit up.
Okay, thank you. Any more comments for open forum? Representative Shaw?
Yeah, just as a small personal thing, if anybody has any input or views on diversity as a whole at Case Western and how it affects particularly first-year students going through culture shock coming to Case Western, please find me after the meeting. I would very much appreciate talking to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any more comments? Representative Gallo?
I just forgot to mention, I'm excited that the GA thing got passed because that means we can do more philanthropy in sports. So we have more time now.
Representative Vaughn.
The Diversity and Inclusion Committee is meeting at 8:30 on Thursday in the USG office. We'd love if you came.
Okay. All right. I'm not sure why they're laughing. Any last points? Mr. Rudensik.
I don't remember. Did you guys clarify in open or in new business, excuse me, what next week, since you guys did implement the change, will next week be a committee meeting week or a GA week?
We'll send more information about that as soon as possible. I think exec needs to kind of hash it out a little bit before we decide on what's going on next week. So you'll get more information ASAP. All right. With that, advisors report. On behalf of Colleen, we've got Treasurer Williams. I hope you can send Colleen some love. She's sick, so on Valentine's Day. But Treasurer Williams.
Colleen's working call. She says she's sick, that's why she couldn't get this, but she said that she loves you all very much and that you are her Valentine. So send her an email just saying how, like, tell her how awesome she is and say I hope you feel better. I'm sure it would make her night.
Thank you, Colleen. She's watching on YouTube, maybe. Before we go into announcements, I'm going to take this opportunity to inaugurate our new reps and our new, well, he's already on exec, but I'm going to inaugurate him as speaker at the same time. So I'm going to go up to the podium. If you are newly elected representatives, that means today, or if I have missed you in the past, you can come up, please, to the front. So if you were elected today as a representative, please come up to the front. You got it. All right, if you could please raise your right hand. I state your name. Do solemnly swear. As a representative of the USG. To responsibly represent my constituency. To the best of my ability. I promise to faithfully uphold the Constitution. And all appropriate bylaws of the USG. As an elected representative to the USG. I further pledge to serve the students of Case Western Reserve University with integrity and honesty. Congratulations. All right. Yes, you do have to stand up. Okay. So, I state your name. Do solemnly swear. As an officer of the USG. To responsibly represent my constituency. To the best of my ability. I promise to faithfully uphold the Constitution. And all appropriate bylaws of the USG. As an elected representative to the USG. I further pledge to serve the students of Case Western Reserve University with integrity and honesty. Congratulations. Any announcements? Representative McHenry.
Okay, I know I've been telling you guys to come to some of the swim meets, but this weekend, biggest swim meet of them all. UAA championships, big, lots of fast swimming. We're hosting it this year. Stuff's going down, guys. Be there. We're gonna be in really cool looking swimsuits. We're gonna be swimming fast. If you haven't come to a single meet this year, come to this one because we need all the support we can get. That is all.
Speaker McKee.
Just a few announcements. One, nominations for parliamentarian are still open, so if you have any more, send them to me and I'll get in contact with the person. Two, if you were just elected tonight, please come up and see me after the meeting real quick. I just need to talk to you for like 30 seconds. C, it's a Tuesday, so it's a Nacho Tuesday. Sigma Newhouse at 11. I stole Theo's thunder. He's upset. I think that's it.
Okay, Representative Shaw.
Just a reminder, freshman caucus will be meeting after GA.
VP Dooner.
Quick thing, iClickers, make sure you don't walk off with yours. And since we didn't distribute them in a nice numerical order, if we could number them increasingly in the front when you put them back, that'd be awesome. Thanks, Connor, and everyone else.
Ms. Sutton.
Nurses Ball is this weekend, Saturday at 7 in Havorka, $5. It's open to everybody, and it's USG funded. It's going to be lots of fun.
Representative Gallo.
As always, if you have any other events or the events that you talk about at GA, send them to me in an email so I can send them in a single email for people to check out before the weekend starts.
Representative Smith.
I'm going to say this until they are officially due, but orientation leader applications are up and running. Apply to be an orientation leader. Remember that orientation model is different this year, so if you're planning on doing an internship or something else fun during the summer, you still might have the opportunity to be an orientation leader, so double check the dates. If you have any questions, please come talk to me. Thanks.
Representative LaDelpha.
The Hammer Regatta happened this Saturday. That was really cool. Thanks for those who came and helped out and volunteered. We got a lot of money for the Relay for Life team, so thanks.
Vice President Shaw.
Just a question. How did the triathlon go?
I was not a participant. I slept until 2:30 on Sunday. I mean, I was never signed up, so it's not like I skipped. I'm just saying this is my sleeping day.
Are there any other announcements? Representative Kameyer.
We move to adjourn.
Nice.
Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you for staying with us this evening.